ways, and they found out that if you basically move the eggs around, they won't hatch. You have to keep them very still. So when they uncover their nests, they will now mark a little cross on the top of each egg and carefully move them out, keeping the cross up all the time. Put them in boxes like this. And another thing they discovered after having started this program, it was discovered by a sea turtle scientists in Costa Rica, was that the sex of tortoises and turtles is not determined by chromosomes, it's determined by temperature. And so they were very worried that the first few tortoises they were bringing back were all either males or females. Apparently there were a few hatchings which had to be dated back to then, so they lucked out a bit. But otherwise they put them in boxes and they incubate them differently. They incubate about 2/3 of the eggs so that they come out females and 1/3 to come out as males. Warmer temperatures, 29.5, and so give females, and under 29 give males.
Evolutionarily, why would that work?
I mean,
it's random enough, temperature is different enough.
Yeah. I mean, so much of evolution is based on random mutations and things, but it obviously works. There are enough cool years, warm years, maybe different heights in the nests and things that you do tend to get a good enough ratio for them to survive.
Okay. Can't get in here.
Well, they close them off at night. That's why. So what happens is, there's basically a white building around there. That's where they do most of the incubation. There are a couple of different incubation buildings. And another thing they used to find out, well, they used to hatch and they'd put them in that area where we were with that concrete floor. That used to be the baby turtle place. And they had very high mortality. And so once again they went back and looked at them in the wild to find out what was going on. And they found out that when baby turtles hatch, tortoises hatch, they don't come straight out of the nest chamber. They stay inside the nest chamber for about a month, finishing up the yolk and everything, and then they will come out. And this is very similar kind of terrain to the area where the females dig their nests. So now what they do is, when the young turtles hatch, they've got these wooden boxes, and they'll keep them in the wooden box, covered up, and for a month. And then after that, they'll put them in these areas, and these are important because these can be closed over at night. This is an inhabited island, so we have rats. Rats are nocturnal, and so they close this over and protect the young tortoises from the rats. And they live in this area for the first 2 years of their life. They're then removed from here and just put outside. There's also lava rock.
2 years?
2 years, it's okay. I mean, they don't bring them back to their island yet, but they're not as easy for the rats too. They're not as vulnerable. And so then they're kept there, and when they're about 3-4 years old, so about that size, they're brought back to their island. And then
When they're pretty safe.
from safe, they have no predators at that stage. So it's pretty much guaranteed survival.
Oh, how long is it? 120 years?
Maybe 150 to 200. But no one really knows because they've lived so much longer than we do. So when they hatch, you see they've got these numbers painted on in different colours. You see yellow is and the colours for the island. The numbers. And then they were just about to start doing that, and then St. George went and got the 2 females that lived with him to lay eggs twice. No, the eggs are hatched, but now everyone's thinking, oh, well, maybe he will. And well, that will take forever anyway, because it takes so long for them to reach sexual maturity and stuff. And so now the whole repopulating of Pinta Island, which is an island which is now completely ecologically restored and just needs its herbivore, now all that has been halted.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
George got it on.
They finally started to see some action there.
Guys,
What pretty much is their diet?
8 or 9 inches.
Exactly. That was something they also experimented with a bit. You know, if certain foods and diets would contribute to a success rate more than others. Try different mixes and stuff. But they found that out already. Very important. Yeah, so this is like Santa Cruz, and some of the other islands have this, but it's...
You were saying
the north, you don't have all these trees. Sorry?
you were saying these are quite adapted because of the
Yeah, well, it's the same genus, the Puntia, the prickly pear, the same genus that you have elsewhere in the New World, but this is the only place where they've grown into giant trees like this.
I mean, the bark almost looks like red pine.
Yes, that's incredible. Huh?
Ponderosa
Inside
pine
it's
stuff.
still still
soft.
fibrous. And
Yeah, but you could do that.
this
Just
kind
grows
of
in.
grew up there.
Is it, I forget what it's name is. Are these endemic
Myself
or
on video.
native?
The Matasaga is native. The Palo Santo, we have two species in Galapagos. This one, the tall one, is native.